It's great to have you on another edition of the program BOI Weekly. I'm Kayode Alayande. The housing deficit in Nigeria as at 2016, according to the federal government, is 17 million houses. This suggests a huge growth potential for the paint manufacturing industry. The Bank of Industry is well aware of this. That's why it's providing support in that subsector as well. So this week, we'll be looking at the impact of BOI's intervention at the Chemical and Allied Products PLC, a subsidiary of UACN PLC and makers of Dulux premium paint brands. CAP PLC is a leading paint manufacturer in Nigeria and is also a technological licensee of AkzoNobel, the world's largest producer of paints. I spoke with the MD, Mrs. Omolara Elemide, their newly installed state-of-the-art fully automated implant tinting factory here in Lagos. The new plant was made possible by the intervention of the Bank of Industry. Mrs. Elemide says BOI's intervention, amongst other things, has helped them incredibly shrink the turnaround time for making products available to clients and astronomically improve the quality and quantity of their products. Stay close.
CAP PLC is a subsidiary of UAC, of Nigeria PLC. And as you know, UAC has been around for over 100 years. With the good parentage, strategizing, planning for the business comes, very well managed every year. And it's in the process of ensuring good planning and visioning for the future that the need for us to automate our business came about. So CAP PLC, being the subsidiary of UAC, has benefited greatly from that heritage.
So tell us about these products and brands and the stratification and distribution.
The flagship brand Dulux is produced in factory. It's produced using the batch production system, which is largely manual. And then we also have our local brand, which is Caplux. That is positioned in the mid-tier segment of the paint market, while Dulux is positioned in the premium segment of the market. The paint market generally in Nigeria, CAP contributes or controls largely about 15%, of the entire paint market in Nigeria. But with our flagship brand, we're in the premium segment, and we control 60%, of that market. We do produce using the batch mixing system, but that is what we have improved upon now with the acquisition of the implant tinting technology. This technology will enable us to optimize our production time such that we can produce as much as 10,000 liters of paint in an 8-hour production system.
Now, CAP PLC has been operating in Nigeria for over half a century. And obviously you've gone through different developmental milestones in terms of improving your capacities over the years. I would like to know when your relationship with the Bank of Industry started.
As the business began to evolve and the market began to demand for products that need to be produced in less time than we were doing, there was need for us to change the factory configuration to be able to produce small quantities of paint and more array of colors. The current factory configuration could not deliver that. Therefore, there was need for us to make a long-term investment in acquiring a cutting-edge technology to adequately respond, to these evolving market demand. And because it was a long-term project, we needed a long-term funding, which was relatively scarce in the market, in the banking sector. The only bank that could offer that was the Bank of Industry. And so we approached the Bank of Industry. We told them our needs. We told them the benefits this acquisition would have in the economy. And yes, we were able to apply for the loan, the facility, which also comes at a reasonable rate, and surprisingly, the process was hitch-free from application to approval. Very seamless, So that's how we got the loan. After making our needs known, that we needed a long-term funding, which was also going to be relatively reasonably priced, we were told to apply. We applied. We got the application forms, and the requirements weren't, that difficult. We were able to provide all the requirements, the necessary documents, the justifications, the feasibility studies. We were able to provide all of that, to the Bank of Industry. And the executives of Bank of Industry visited our plant, had chats with the management of CAP, and made their presentation to their management as well. And before we know it, we got the approval for the loan. Surprisingly, the approval came at a time when there was a slight political instability, but we were impressed, that the management of BOI was able to, disburse the loan, at the time it was disbursed, and it met our timing, that was in early 2016, and here we are, first quarter 2017, we have commissioned the plant.